Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called Mix CD. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I love making Mix CDs. Each week, we give our guests a theme and an 80-minute time limit for which songs they're going to pick for their Mix CD. This week, I'm flying solo today. I recently turned 39, and it's given me a lot of time to reflect on stuff as I approach year 40 of my life. But one thing that I have been, or that kind of came to the conclusion about, is that I have 40 years that I could pick my best of the years that I've been alive song for the last 40 years. So I'm going to split this up into two volumes over 2 weeks because. So what I did is that I started at 1985, which is the year I was born, and picked a song that was released that year and dubbed it my best song of that year. I went through every single year until I got to 2024. It got a little touch and go towards the end, but I did that as an exercise to get through the fact that I'm almost 40. Whew. And this year is going to be very introspective in a lot of ways, a lot of reflecting, a lot of what am I doing with my life type of thing. So this is just going to be the start of that. So here it is. I'm going to go through the best years I've been alive, volume one. I go in order 1985, I believe it gets me all the way to 2004, which would basically mean I go through pretty much when the year I was born until I graduate high school. I guess that worked out kind of nicely. So this was difficult because there were a couple things that I wanted to think about when it came to this list. The first thing is I wanted to pick songs that I haven't really picked for a lot of other lists. So for all those people out there, particularly looking at Nick Ortberg, my sister, everything like that for 2001, no, I did not pick Lifehouse Hanging by a Moment because it's appeared on two other lists already. So I will give a shout out to that because it is a very important song in my life and I get that. However, I wanted to pick songs that I haven't put on other lists. The other part of this exercise is that one artist for all 40 years. So I'm not picking any duplicate artist, which towards the end gets a little tricky, but hey, it is what it is. So those were the rules that I set up for myself. Plus, also, I did have to split it up in a particular way that will get me to 80 minutes for both volumes. And it just happened to be from 1985 to 2004 and then 2005 to 2024 that it just seemed to work out that way. I got very fortunate with that on a first try. But here are my first set of songs for this best of the years I've been alive for this mix CD. So my first track, 1985, I picked The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. I love Back to the Future, so it's no surprise that I would pick this song as well. However, this song in particular, I did my senior year of high school. We had a thing at my church, it's called Youth Sunday, where a senior or a junior in some cases would give a sermon about a particular topic. And I did one my junior and senior year. So my junior year one was about faith, because of course. And then my senior year one was about hope. And it was kind of also, I also kind of added in some stuff about love. And one thing that I wrote at the end is that love is patient, love is kind, love lifts us up where we belong. And one of the things that I put is that it's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. So that has always been a significant part of my life, so I had to add this on. Also, by the way, if I get any of these wrong, I'm blaming Spotify on this because I took these all from Spotify's best of 1985 years. So if I mess any of these up, I'm blaming Spotify for this. Okay, number two, which is from 1986, another song that ends in love, Glory of Love by Peter Cetera. The first time I actually heard this song, I heard it in the styling of A Newfound Glory, which is not how this that sounded originally, which I didn't know that. But what I love about this song is just the melody. Peter Cetera's voice is just fantastic with this. And yeah, I love this song. So number three for 1987, Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil. This is a song from my childhood I used to listen to a lot. My dad had this CD, and it was one where it's one of like the first, I would say probably about 15 or 20 songs that I can remember listening to and be like, yeah, I actually really like this. So this is a nostalgia pick along with just just as a lot of sentiment. 1988, there was a lot for this one. This was a pretty tricky pick, but I picked Billy Ocean's Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car. Shout out to my friend Brownie, who we sang this a couple of times at trivia or through youth group events that we were both co-advisors for. But one of the things that we always thought was really funny was that it was "Get out of my dreams, get into my car." It's a lot of fun. It's just such a ridiculous song, but Billy Ocean is fantastic, so I had to put it on. 1989. I have some conflicting information because I have 1980. This could be 1989 or 1990, but I picked Pump Up the Jam by Technotronic. No notes here. It's just Pump Up the Jam by Technotronics. This was a Jock Jams hit, something that came up a lot in whenever we go to like a sporting event of some type. So this is a pretty big sentimental pick. 1990, I have Blaze of Glory by John, John Bon Jovi, but just Bon Jovi. But Blaze of Glory, there's a couple things about this. One, this reminds me of college a little bit. This was something that a couple fraternity brothers and a couple college roommates listened to a lot. So sentimental pick for that. But also, this came up randomly in an episode of Chuck, where Chuck is going up against Brandon Routh's character, which I found hilarious that they were singing or that they were fighting to this in the background, although it was a Jeffster cover of it, but it's still hilarious. My 1991 pick, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Yeah, just had to add that to the list. 1992 is Jump Around by House of Pain. So, first time I ever heard this song, it was actually on Mrs. Doubtfire. And I think Mrs. Doubtfire is a severely underrated movie. Uh, and this was at the very beginning during the party scene that became, excuse me, that became the inciting incident for the divorce between Daniel and Miranda. So there's that, and then this just periodically comes up at various points in my life, whether it's constantly playing it at trivia every once a month or something like that, but also this comes up a lot in movies and TV shows. So just this is one that comes up pretty frequently. 1993, I picked All That She Wants by Ace of Base. Now, conventional wisdom says I could have picked The Sign, which objectively is probably a better song. However, I'm gonna give a shout out to my cousin Rob because he was playing this CD, and the first song I ever heard by Ace of Base was All That She Wants, whether it was a CD or on the radio, but I credit my cousin Rob for introducing it to me. And this was the first song that I ever listened to for Ace of Base. So I will go with this as a sentimental pick. Yeah. 1994, 1994. I am an unabashed Boyz II Men fan. I love Boyz II Men so much. So I picked I'll Make Love by Boyz II Men. It's such a good song. Yeah, just great song. Love it. 1995, a lot of songs I could have picked for this one, but I ended up going with the song that I probably listened to the most during this time period, which was Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio, which, first of all, between the music video with him and Michelle Pfeiffer just sitting in that dark room, and also from the Dangerous Minds soundtrack, which yeah. Is it problematic today? Yes, because it's white woman saving a group of minority students, which we get quite a bit in television and in movies nowadays. But I still really enjoy this song a lot, and it sends a powerful message, and it's probably one of the best things that Coolio ever did. So good for him for that. 1996 is No Diggity by Blackstreet. This will always remind me of my Uncle Dave, who has passed away recently, or not recently, but he passed away due to stomach cancer. I miss him a lot because he's one of the probably biggest influences in my life in terms of how to act towards people, being generous, and different things like that. But in particular, there were a couple summers when I was around this time where my Uncle Dave listened to this nonstop. Me and my sister, this always reminds us of our Uncle Dave. So yeah, No Diggity by Blackstreet. 1997, I picked Time of Your Life by Green Day because that guitar intro and it just anytime you hear it it make cry because it reminds you either of graduating high school or saying goodbye to friends or some shit like that. So Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day. Yeah. So 1998. This one was surprisingly tricky because I couldn't find a song that I really liked. So I ended up going with Christina Aguilera's Reflection, which is from the Mulan soundtrack, which I love the movie Mulan, and this was the first song that I ever heard by Christina Aguilera when she was like a legit artist versus when she was in the Mickey Mouse Club, and I was just blown away by how amazing this was. So yeah, this is definitely one great message song as well. 1999, I picked "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys, mainly because it's a great karaoke song. And more importantly, this song is ridiculous in all the right ways. I love it. 2000, another one that's kind of tricky when it comes to picking a song because there's a lot of ones to choose from. I ended up going with "It Wasn't Me" by Shaggy because I love this song. It hits in all the great ways, and it's so fucking stupid, but I love it. So Shaggy, "It Wasn't Me" for 2000. 2001, this is the year that I would have picked for Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse, either this or 2000, I guess. But I ended up going for 2001. Another song that I think came to define me a little bit in high school, which is Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm. I had to dance to it and everything like that. It's yeah, just ridiculous song. The only way that I would ever accept a cover of this is this rock version by Alien Ant Farm. 2002, I picked Hero by Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott from the first Spider-Man movie. Yeah, just good song. 2003, I picked In the Club by 50 Cent. Yeah, just another one that I really like. And then for 2004, I picked Yeah by Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris because it still slaps after all these years. So yeah, definitely love that. So that is my volume one of Best of the Years I've Been Alive. Tune in next week for volume two and see what I pick from 2005 to 2024. Oh, and the album cover for this. I think for the album cover for this, I would probably pick the ridiculous SPDM crew photo that I have on our website. I would probably pick that as the album cover for this first part of my life. So there you go. Well, my friends, the time has come to end this episode of Mix CD. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website soon to be out at spdmcrew.com. You could follow our playlist on Spotify and Apple Music at Mike Hilty. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. If you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, no matter what happens now, you shouldn't be afraid because I know today has been the most perfect day I've ever seen.